Alrighty guys, welcome back to another video. I have a little bit of a different setup today. I'm actually working on the car in the garage. We got a really cool package in that just released, in case you did not know, and it's the CNT Racing Intercooler piping. So much to say here. I prototyped this piping when it first came out a couple of months ago, and now it's officially released. So here we have it. So here is your couplers that go that meet at the turbocharger inlet, that meet at the throttle, and then the two-piece conversion from the intercooler pipe to the charge pipe that goes up to the throttle. So there's your three couplers you're gonna need for it. Awesome. Here is your hot side for the turbo. So this goes mounted just like this. I'm holding it. Turbo is right here, intercooler is right here, something like that, roughly. Wait, is like that? I don't know. Anyways, they did paint it like a ceramic black, like a wrinkled black. So do love the look. When mine on the car is actually just like a kind of like a jet black, so that's good. You then have the intercooler cold side. So this goes bolted up just like this, and then here would go your vacuum line, and then from here is that coupler, and the other piece goes up to the throttle. So here's the second piece for that piping kit. It is 2 1/4. I measured it. Actually, I gotta measure this one as well because the other one was 2 1/4. I believe it's 2 1/4. So it is a huge upgrade from the factory one, because the factory one I believe is 1 1/2. So you got almost a full inch upgraded. And the last piece, this is the piece that goes all the way up to the throttle. That actually tapers up to about 2 1/2 here, it looks like. So this is where your I believe this is IAT, and then this is MAP, I believe, or vice versa. But yeah, this is where your two sensors go on your charge pipe. And yeah, you're all set to there. So in order to do the intercooler piping, you have to, let me back this up a little bit. Whatever. You have to remove the bumper. If you do not remove the bumper, you will not be able to do anything. So gotta get the bumper off the car, and we'll be able to access the intercooler. I have the Type bar lip, so it's a little different. You gotta let these 3 screws out. So the one that's after the side marker, get those out, and then get the other ones on the other side out, and then we'll go over the next step. Next thing, once you let off those bolts on the side, is you have to let off all these bolts. Or this is the shroud kit, but on your car you would have a plastic tab, so make sure you get the flathead, pop it under, release them. You got to get everything that's on red in my car, except for obviously out there. Here in the center, you want to get that off in order to access it. So I'm going to go ahead and get those out and show over to the next step. Bonfire. Alright, so as soon as you have all those clips out, you're going to come over here so you can see I just removed the panels. That way you guys can understand it better. Mine's obviously a little bit modified. So as soon as the bolts are all out right here, literally come up to it and pull it right out. It comes out. Okay? There's some release tabs right here and right here. If you have a trim piece remover tool, it'd be better. I freaking forgot mine, so I'm just going to use probably like a little flathead or something. So you have one right here, you'll see it, and then one right here, and then you do the same on the other side, and we'll go to the next step. Alright, so last part to get the bumper off. There's little tabs that are hidden right here. You literally just push against those tabs. The bumper comes off. There you have it. Bumper is pretty much already all off. Just have a few bolts on the bottom you gotta get out. Alright, so once you're down here, you have one 10mm bolt that goes right here, and then the rest are just the releasing tabs to get the bumper off. When you're down here, you will have your headlight, your fog light. Make sure you disconnect that. It's right there. There's my PRL. But yeah, release that, and you're gonna do the same thing pretty much all the way down. Get all those tabs off, and yeah, it'll be good to go. And just like that, the bumper's off. So there's the intercooler and the intercooler piping. You have to do this in order to get the piping, because as you can see, it's right there. So we're gonna go ahead and get everything going here shortly, just so you had an idea what it looked like. There you have it. Put the bumper to the side over there and get working. All right, so there's the front of the car. You can start off by letting these bolts down here. So you got one right there, one right there. Those two right there. And long socket 10mm. I'm just gonna drive it right at it. There it's out. And on this side, it's very simple. Those two bolts, release them, and they're out. All right, so those two are out, good to go. He's got to do the top work now. I did switch cameras because my camera died, so it's gonna use my phone for now. But yeah, there you have it. There's the intercooler inlet, and I'm just gonna get it all off and get everything ready. So just to free up some space, I'm gonna take the intake out here and here, but you don't have to. Everything is right there, but just to have that open space, I'm also gonna be doing something with the intake, so I might as well get it out now. So let these out, and then you're gonna get that one off and the bottom one, and you release that pipe and get it off the throttle and get the sensors off. So we'll let this side off now. All right, so I already got it all the way off from the throttle, all the way down to the intercooler, and from the turbo. Still here, but it's actually already let loose. So there's a mounting point, and it is right there. That's where a little nut's gonna go to hold down that pipe. So make sure you get a long extension with a 10mm to get that on or off. So now it's coming off, and yeah, I'm about to get the new one going in just a second here. All right, so the piping's already all out. First step you can do, get the turbo side first. It's probably the harder side because it's a little bit more uncomfortable. Before you even go in, make sure you put that and the silicone connector. So if you come through the bottom, it makes everything a lot easier. This is where that little bolt that you're supplied with, it's it's a bolt. You're gonna put a nut on top of it once it gets on there. So yeah, it's better if you come through the bottom, and that way you can kind of get a feel for it. I'll record here as best as I can to explain it for you. Alright, so you take the front end and bring it through the bottom here. And just look from up top. Just turn it, twist it and turn it. However the best comes in, just keep playing with it. You'll eventually get it to come all the way up, pretty much to the turbo inlet. Make it a little bit easier if you put just a little bit of silicone or WD-40 on that silicone hose, and then it'll slide right onto the turbo inlet. Okay, so I finally got it all done. Well, got it on at least. I'm not all done yet. I'm just gonna give a few tips before I move on and just put everything back together. When you're doing the turbo side, okay, make sure you let both brackets off the intercooler. That way the intercooler is loose and you can wiggle it around. And there is a little stud that there's a bracket, which is this one right here. This little bracket. Put that on first. Once you have that on, it's going to be lined up perfectly for it to go onto the turbo inlet, and then it's going to be perfectly fine for it to go to the intercooler. And then when you are putting the pipe to the intercooler, make sure you put one bolt, and just start doing them little by little each. Don't tighten one and then the other. It'll never work. Same thing on the right side. So just make sure you follow those steps and everything will line up perfectly.
2 hours later.
Alrighty guys, well the install is all done. I recapped as much as I could. I was just so busy taking time up, filming and stuff, but give you my advice of what you could do. Again, this isn't a DIY, but just kind of recap what we did. Car is all done. I'm gonna go to a meet now, so any questions you guys have, please drop them below. We'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.